the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up on the news at noon, Biden officially announcing his re-election, how he plans to tackle another 4 years. And later, a flight headed to Dulles made an emergency U-turn. What led to the issue? And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Shanika Grimshaw. I'm in for Mark Hall on this beautiful afternoon. Taking a look outside, it's partly sunny today, and we're going to head over to meteorologist Damon Matson. Let's find out how it's going to look today.
Yes, Shanika, the big question, I'm sure a lot of people wondering where those temperatures are going to end up. What a frigid start we had this morning, folks. Once again, anybody outside of the DC metro, you were feeling that chill. Check out those lows from earlier this morning. 44 in DC, so not too bad. Certainly still cool, but look at Martinsburg, 29, 30 in Winchester and Cumberland, and just barely above that freezing mark in Frederick and Hagerstown. And that helped to produce another round of frost out there this morning. But thankfully enough, that beautiful sunshine that we are still enjoying this afternoon has rebounded us back into the 50s. So comfortable, but still definitely on the cool side as we enter into the afternoon. But with a decent amount of sun still expected this afternoon. Check out the satellite and radar pictures. Still rather quiet, just a few passing clouds. That will continue to help us bump those temperatures up once again into the upper 50s and low 60s. If we could have two identical days in terms of our weather conditions, yesterday and today are going to get fairly close to that. There you go. Partly cloudy skies, the temperatures briefly jumping into the 60s, but it's not going to stay this consistent for very long. Are we going to eventually see a rebound in those temperatures? And are we talking about rain chances returning as soon as tomorrow afternoon? And when could those possibly be rolling through? Well, we'll make sure we'll give you all of those updates coming up in your full forecast here in just a bit.
When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are.
President Biden just announced his 2024 bid to stay in the White House. That announcement coming in the form of a pre-recorded video. He tweeted along with his announcement, quote, "Every generation has a moment where they have had to stand up for democracy, to stand up for their fundamental freedoms. I believe this is ours. That's why I'm running for re-election as President of the United States. Join us. Let's finish the job," end quote. Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley has more.
In the online video released Tuesday, President Joe Biden lays out his vision for what a second term would look like.
When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are. The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too.
Almost immediately, the GOP responded with a video of AI-generated images showing chaos in America if President Biden is reelected. But the president's announcement comes against a backdrop of polling that shows a high number of Americans, including Democrats, don't want the president to seek re-election.
I think for some people, this is going to look like same old, same old.
Todd Belt, political analyst at the George Washington University, says that might play into creating a larger field of candidates.
We'll probably see some third-party candidates emerge in this race.
A recent AP poll shows only 26% of Americans overall want the president to run again, including only 47% of Democrats. And a majority did not want to see a Biden-Trump rematch.
Donald Trump will probably steamroll towards the nomination in the Republican Party.
But Belt admits Biden is likely his party's best shot against the former president.
It's really difficult to see anyone in the Democratic Party that really can mount the type of campaign that would be successful against Donald Trump.
And the Spotsylvania School Board is still working to address millions of dollars in a budget deficit. As of last night's meeting, that's no longer on the table, and several staff positions are on the chopping block. Our Lex Juarez is in the newsroom to lay it all out.
Well, the school board was initially working to fill a $21 million deficit. Now they say they only have to fill $16 million. But the proposed budget cuts that are on the table currently would hit special education particularly hard. Taking a look at those proposed budget cuts, they include staffing that's going to remove 15 special education teachers assistants and 5 special education speech pathologists. Additionally, it's proposed to cut 23 other elementary school teachers assistants, 2 elementary school instructional specialists, and 2 school district psychologists or social workers. Now, the school board is also looking at cutting maintenance costs in half and eliminating some custodian jobs, and also cutting or freezing vacant positions within the school system. While these are options that are more popular than that original proposal to remove libraries, school board members are still stressing the importance of keeping existing positions, especially when they directly affect students.
Our students need educators in the classroom before we need grant writers. I mean, we've been doing without them. Before we need a change to the pay system. I feel like that is not necessary.
Well, the school board will be meeting again next week. That meeting is set for Monday at 5:30. We can expect the school board to make a final decision on these budget cuts at that meeting. In the newsroom, I'm Lex Suarez, DC News Now.
New at noon, we're learning more about a flight bound for Dulles that had to turn around moments after takeoff and make an emergency landing. DC News Now's Joseph Olmo covers aviation for us, and he joins us live with the latest. Joe, what happened here?
Hey, good after. I was about to say good morning. I've spent the entire morning with you, Shanika. A good afternoon to you. So, yeah, we're talking about United Airlines flight 1274. Last Tuesday, it was scheduled to take off from Bradley International Airport in Hartford, Connecticut, and take the short hour and 25-minute flight to Dulles International. But something happened right after takeoff. Take a listen to some of the air traffic control recordings that we just pulled.
Yeah, we're going to have to come back for a landing.
And at 1274, are you declaring an emergency?
360, yes, we're declaring emergency. We said a window pop open after takeoff, so we don't have any other issues other than that.
Yeah, there's the pilot there. We've had a window pop off after takeoff. He is referring to a window inside of the cockpit of that Boeing 737. It turned around moments later, safely landed, and a couple hours later, the passengers were on a different plane to Dulles. Moments ago, I did get a statement from United Airlines on this. I want to read it to you right now. It says, on Tuesday, April 18th, last Tuesday, a flight departing Bradley International returned to the airport to address an unlatched cockpit window. The flight landed safely, and we reaccommodated our customers on another aircraft. Certainly an interesting case here in my experience in aviation. Pilots, when they are at the gate, they will open up the windows to the cockpit. In this case, it appears, according to that United statement, though, it was not closed properly because it opened back up after takeoff. Coming up later today on DC News Now at 5 p.m., we're going to take you inside that cockpit. We have more air traffic control recordings that we're going to be showing you then. Shanika?